Okay, Devin, this is a math problem you have where you need to find the surface area of a cylinder, figure out some aspects about that cylinder, and then see whether or not, or what the volume is of that same cylinder. And all you know is the radius is 9 meters, and the whole thing has an area of 1,850 meters. So let's see exactly what that's going to mean. First, a cylinder, if you take it apart, if I were to take apart this top here, that's actually a circle, and there's another circle on the bottom, and if I cut this right down the middle, like a Pringles can, it would, and step on it, it would flatten out, and it would look like this. See, there's the top. See how there's a T on the top? There's the top, and there's the flat part, and there's the bottom. So what we're going to look at is that we have a circle plus another circle plus the rectangle is going to equal 1,850 meters squared. So if our circles, and don't forget the area of a circle is pi r squared. So if we're going to use 3.14 for pi for right now because I think that's what it uses in your book. So we're going to have pi times r squared. In this case, our radius is 9. So that's 3.14 times 9 squared, or 3.14 times 81, which is 9 times 9. If I multiply these together, I get 254.34. Okay, so if I have those same two circles, circle plus square equals 1850, that means 254.34 plus another 254.34, and add those together is 508.68, plus that square equals 1850. If I subtract that number from each side, I get that the area of the square, like the whole square of the Pringles can, if I unwrap it, is 1341.30.32. Now, if my area on that is 1341.32 meters squared, that means I still have to figure out how big everything else is. So if a radius is 9, that means a diameter is 18, because it's just radius times 2. And then I take my diameter and I measure, I multiply it times 3.14. I get the measure of the whole circle, and that's going to be 56.52 for our purposes. And so this measurement here is going to be the exact same as the measurement from here to here, because don't forget, this wraps around the top of the Pringles can. In fact, let's put a little T on that so we can understand we're talking about the same thing as on the other page. So if we know that this is 56.52, we know the whole thing is, and the other side is 1341.32. What does that make this side right here? We're going to call it H. We don't know what it is. We're going to call it H, and you'll see why in a little bit. So 56.52 times H equals 1341.32. We divide each side by the 56.52. We get that H is going to be 23.73 meters. All right, so we now have a height of our cylinder. That being the case, using the formula for the volume of a cylinder, which is pi r squared times height, which makes sense because it's just a circle with some height, we get 254.34, remember that from the previous page, times 23.73, which we just figured out, equals the volume of the cylinder. So all we've got to do is multiply those two numbers, and we get 6035.48. And I believe it said to round to the nearest whole meter. And so since that's less than 5, your answer is going to be 6,035 cubic meters. All right, so that's going to be 6,035 meters cubed. All right, if you have any questions, get a hold of me, call me back.